yes, I'm real close. Dancing at the speed of light. Moving fast, don't look back. Go, never stop, go till you reach the top. Go, never stop, go till you reach the top. Mission critical, I won't go. I'm saying this so that the world knows. Dancing at the speed of light. Moving fast, don't look back. Go, never stop, go till you reach the top. Go, never stop, go till you reach the top. Go, never stop, go till you reach the top. Go, never stop, go till you reach the top. Never stop, 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 never stop. Go, never stop, go till you reach the top. Go, never stop, go till you reach the top. Go, never stop, go till you reach the top. Go, never stop, go till you reach the top. Go, never stop, go till you reach the top. Go, never stop, go till you reach the top. Go, never stop, go till you reach the top. I'm real close. Dancing at the speed of light. Moving fast. never stop, never, never stop. Never, never stop, never, never stop. Never, never stop, never, never stop. Never, never stop, never, never stop. Go, never, never stop, stop. Go, till you reach the top, top. Go, never, never stop, stop. Go, till you reach the top, top. Go, never, never stop, stop. Go, till you reach the top, top. Go, never, never stop, stop. Go, till you reach the top, top. Go, never, never stop, stop. Go, till you reach the top, top. Go, never, never stop, stop. Go, till you reach the top, top. Go, never, never stop, stop. Go, till you reach the top, top. Go, never, never stop, stop. Go, till you reach the top, top. Go, never, never stop, stop. Go, till you reach 200 miles an hour, don't slow. I can see it, yes, I'm real close. Dancing at the speed of light. Moving fast, don't look back. Go, never, never stop, stop. Go, till you reach the top, top. Go, never, never stop, stop. Go, till you reach the top. Mission critical, I won't go. I'm saying this so let the world know. Dancing at the speed of light. Moving fast, don't look back. Go, never, never stop, stop. Go, till you reach the top, top. Go, never, never stop, stop. Go, till you reach the top, top. Go, never, never stop, stop. Go, till you reach the top, top. Go, never, never stop, stop. Go, till you reach the top, top. Never, never stop, never, never stop. 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 Go, never, never stop, stop. Go, till you reach the top, top. Go, never, never stop, stop. Go, till you reach the top, top. Go, never, never never stop, never, never stop. Never, never stop, never, never stop. Go, go. Never, never stop, stop. Go, till you reach the top, top. Go.
Hello, hello, beautiful people. Happy Sunday. It is so very good to be here with each and every one of you as we gather together for the weekend service to celebrate the magnificence and significance of the power and presence of God flowing in, through, and as each and every one of us. Let us begin with prayer, and today our prayer champion, Reverend Shauna, will lead us in prayer.
Morning, beautiful people. Happy summer winter solstice. Take a big breath in and breathe out. Be here now. Close your eyes, center, and listen. God is everywhere and God is in everything. God knows everything. God creates everything. There is nothing visible or invisible, tiny or huge, that does not have the God essence within it. God is Father and Mother. God is compassion. God is strength. God is wisdom. And God is love. And we are blessed with the indwelling Spirit within each of us. Whatever God is, I am. I received joy in my mother's womb and will reside in joy my entire life and forever after. I'm one with God and one in the allness of God with all people everywhere. My ability to express love, to express life, to express wisdom, to express strength, to express compassion is because I dwell in God and God dwells in me. And everything that I am, you are as well. We all share the same DNA as each other, and that comes from God. I know that God exists. Whenever I have experience of illness, whenever I have sadness, whenever I experience financial difficulty, whenever I experience loss, God has seen me through and provided unanticipated blessings from each and every one. When I experience fear, doubt, worry, anxiety, or depression, I know that it is a temporary state. I surrender the concerns of my heart and wait with positive expectation to the reality that my spiritual nature never wavers from one of joy, one of love, and one of wholeness. I recognize and focus on the positive. We have holidays and whole months dedicated to freedom and inclusion, of acknowledging all people's worth and talent and humanity. If I get stuck in wondering how things could be better, I let go and let God be in charge. I acknowledge there is a power and intelligence beyond my human efforts and understanding. I feel that relief that God knows how to solve every problem and provides us with the actions to take towards a solution. I am grateful and thankful that I am part of the CSC community and all those who join from all over the world. One of my greatest joys is praying to open this service and during the week. I pray affirmatively, knowing that what I envision is already there in the invisible energy field. It takes my words and emotions and desires to manifest them in God's time, which is always the exact right time. I am not afraid, but stand firm, wait patiently, and see the perfect outcomes that God will accomplish for us today. I'm grateful for all the mother and father figures who have guided and nurtured and encouraged us to become who we are today. I'm grateful that I continue to grow spiritually as I age. I'm grateful for our pet companions that love us unconditionally. I'm grateful for the flowers and plants and trees and gardens and parks all around us this season, proclaiming God's continual creation. I will leave this service renewed, refreshed, and full from the meditation, the music, and the message. I know I will be changed. I release these words back into the universal mind that knows what to do and how to do it. With the most profound joy and respect, joy and anticipation, I proclaim Amen, Ashe, and so it is.
Yes, yes. Amen, Ashe, and so it is. Thank you, Reverend Shauna. We are definitely clear about the intention for this service. We are clear about the intention for this day and for this gathering. We are clear that we will be changed as a result of gathering together intentionally. Well, hello again. Happy Sunday. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome. And it's so good to be here with each and every one of you for the weekend service. And to our first-time guests, we are happy that you chose to hang out with us on this Sunday at whatever time it may be. We're happy that you're here. You can feel free to shout yourself out in the comments, but most importantly, we want you to know that we're grateful that you're here. We want you to know that we're confident that something will be said, something will be done that will support you in living an empowered life and thriving this week. So sit back, relax, and participate where it is participatory as we meditate together and celebrate together, but we are confident that something good will happen in your life as a result of your being here. Now, as a first-time guest, you see on your screen, this is how you access your digital connection card. Just text the word welcome to 347-472-1078. Just the word welcome. No additional information is needed, emojis or hellos, and you'll receive an automated response with a link. Click that link, enter your information. The most important piece of information is your email address, because that is the only way you can actually get on the mailing list. And at that point, after you submit that information, you'll receive another reply that says you're all set, and indeed you are. You'll receive our weekly email that comes out every Friday, and any other correspondence that is necessary to keep you informed of what's happening at CSC. We also encourage you to follow us on Facebook and like and subscribe if you're watching here on YouTube. We're also on Instagram and Twitter because you'll get lots of information and can stay abreast of what's going on with CSC. So now is a wonderful time to actually get into our news and updates, because many of the things that we share in our news and updates are also in the weekly email, and you're going to want to have many of these details in your inbox. It is New York Pride today. This is the last day of Pride, and of course, New York Pride happens here at the end of June, because this is where it all started, as we remember what took place at Stonewall, as we remember and honor those souls who stood up for themselves, who declared that they were worthy of love, respect, freedom, and equality, who declared to or endeavored to believe and know that freedom and justice for all actually means all. Mm-hmm. And so we celebrate Pride this month. It's been a joy to celebrate this month, and we especially celebrate New York Pride on this day and send love to everyone who is marching in the Pride Parade and celebrating this weekend. Wrong button. We are a church that believes in prayer, and so every Wednesday morning we gather together for the weekend prayers, for the Momentum Prayer Call, which happens at 7 a.m. on Wednesday mornings, Eastern Standard Time. You see the information here on your screen. It's very easy to access the prayer call. We encourage you to put it in your calendars, plan to be there, because it is a wonderful way to continue the momentum that we create on Sundays, and it's also a wonderful way to start the momentum of your day in the middle of the week. We share a reading, and then we pray, and we move on with our day. It only takes about 10 minutes, and that prayer is recorded. So you can use the playback number to access the most recent prayer at any time. We highly encourage you to do that. It is a wonderful way to tap into the vibration of prayer at any time. Also, if 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time doesn't work with your schedule, then you can always check in on the recording when it best suits your schedule. If you have a prayer request, we encourage you to send that prayer request to prayerchampions@celebrationsc.org, and we will know the truth with you. You could be a prayer request for yourself. It could be on behalf of someone else. All of that is all good. But what's most important, the act of submitting a prayer request, it does a few things in consciousness. One, it's a recognition that you're not in any situation alone, that you're never actually in an experience that awful lie, God never gives you more than you can bear. That's not the truth. Actually, there are some things that show up in our lives that are overwhelming, that feel like more than we can bear, but we're not alone. And so we have resources, we have folks that we can lean on. And this is one of those things, right, where you can submit a prayer request knowing that you have the prayer champions and you have PY and myself, and knowing the truth and holding space with you. Also, this is a wonderful way to open yourself up to inspiration, to open yourself up to divine guidance, to open yourself up to divine wisdom, because by submitting a prayer request, you're recognizing through that action, you're signaling to life that you know that there's support beyond the humans that receive the email, right? Me, PY, and the prayer champions. But you're just signaling to life itself that you know there is support and you have support, and you're making yourself available to be guided. And so it's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful thing to do, and we encourage you to do that. We also love to hear from you when your prayer is answered. Many of you have sent us those emails letting us know that the prayer was answered, giving us updates on what's going on. And we love to see it. We love to hear it. And it's good to know for the community, prayer is still working in, through, and as Celebration Spiritual Center. Prayer is still activated in, through, and as Celebration Spiritual Center in our community. And folks are receiving transformations and breakthroughs and healing and comfort and grace and ease and opportunities and so much more. And we are grateful to know it. We encourage you to invite someone to join us to the live stream. You can do that by sending them a link to a previous service, and sending them to a link to a prior meditation or music, letting them know what CSC is all about. We are always looking for those that are looking for us. We are not evangelizing or going out and passing out flyers and shaming folks into hanging out with us. But we know there are those who are endeavoring to believe that there is something good about them and infinite possibility is available to them, and those that want to learn how to tap into that power and embrace that power. That's what CSC is all about, as we equip humanity to live their greatest lives. If you know someone who's interested in doing that, tell them about CSC. This month, we are highlighting the message series, Mission Possible Part 2. Mission Possible is based on our mission statement, which is based on 5 words: awaken, celebrate, embody, equip, and serve. And so we go through each of those words throughout this series, and it's a powerful series. Pastor Yolanda's message, Mirror, Mirror on the Wall, I Trained for This, is in that series. Really, really powerful stuff. I encourage you to check it out. It is very beneficial as you think about your own personal life's mission and how to stand in the mission of your life. And the mission of your life is absolutely possible. And that's highlighted on our YouTube channel and will be highlighted for the rest of this month. And then, of course, next month we'll highlight a new series. Stop by the CSC store. You can go to our website, celebrationsc.org/shop. This is one of our newest designs, God Looks Good as Me. We encourage you to grab it as you represent yourself and represent the consciousness of Celebration Spiritual Center. Next month, we begin our Truth Sunday Masterclass, and we are going to be studying The Mental Equivalent by Emmett Fox. It is not only a self-help classic, but it's a new thought classic. It's a short and sweet text, but power-packed. And we are excited to teach you this text and break down some things and clean up some things and heal some things. But most importantly, we're going to take the truth that's in this text, the principles to support you in getting what you want, using what you got to get what you want, of course. And that is tapping into the power of our mind. That's tapping into the power of our imagination. So we encourage you to get the text. It's available in print, digital, audio format. You do not have to read it. We just want you to get the text. We're going to start next week from the first page. And for those of you that are not familiar with our Truth Sunday Masterclass, this series is always powerful because we take you through the text line by line and teach the text line by line. And it's going to be a wonderful time. So get it, be ready, and we start next Sunday. And so that concludes our news and updates for this Sunday, which means that we have the wonderful opportunity to go within as we are led in the meditation experience with Pastor Yolanda.
Yes, the meditation experience. You know, one of my favorite things to say when it comes to meditation is, if you can breathe, you can meditate. If you can breathe, you can meditate. Now, why do I say that? Because it's as easy as breathing. We tend to make it very complex, very hard. We tend to believe we can't. And that simple statement, if we can breathe, we can meditate, is important because it reminds us that the power to do anything is always within us. We have the ability to focus on the breath and to allow the breath to guide where we go and how connected we feel. But here's the other part of that statement. It's all about the breath. Because the breath connects us to our source. It is the direct connection. So if you notice the breath and feel the breath, God is there on the breath. And as you breathe in and out, and as you relax, you get the experience of knowing that God is within you. The more you relax the breath, the more you open to the experience of God within you. And this month, it's so important to breathe and know that you can meditate and are connected on the breath. Because we're going to focus in for this final Sunday in the month on the affirmative thought. Peace in, peace out. There's a rhythm and a flow to life. There's a rhythm and a flow to the breath. And if God is there, peace is there. We get to experience it we receive it in, and as the breath circulates through the body, and as we release the breath out. Let's experience peace in and peace out. No matter where you are in your physical body or in your life experiences, the breath is there, God is there, and all is well. We get to practice that together. We get to affirm that together. We get to know that together. So let's prepare to experience peace in, circulating, moving on the energy of the breath, and then releasing and sending peace out. Beautiful cycle, beautiful symbol, beautiful truth to experience for yourself. So let's prepare. Go ahead and look around the room. Notice where you are. And I mean notice where you are in your body, in your environment. Place the feet flat on the floor, seated upright in a chair on your sofa. And allow yourself to really make a comfortable, easy connection and alignment with your body. Plant the palms on the tops of the thighs. Align the ears over the shoulders, shoulders over hips. And settle in and get comfortable. Notice if there's any tension or tightness. Go ahead and relieve that now. And from this place of noticing that we are present, connected to our bodies, allow your eyelids to close. If you can breathe, you can meditate. God is flowing, Source is connecting with us and through us, and as the breath and as us. Let's just notice the breath for a few rounds. And whether your breath appears to be deep or shallow, we make no judgment of the breath. We just allow the breath to be right where it is and how it is. And right where it is, we are in gratitude for the connection to Source, the representation of the energy moving, and experiencing peace in and peace out. Beautiful, everyone. And now let's take conscious control of the breath, for it is ours to do so. We can choose how the breath goes and where it goes as we focus in those areas, as we send the breath there, and as we send the impulse and the signal to relax and allow peace in and peace out. So together, let's bring our focus of attention and drop the breath and the focus deep into the low belly. Noticing if you've been breathing high on the chest, letting go of that sensation and that signal that something is wrong, drop the breath deep into the belly. Place your focus there, and together let's inhale and exhale. Inhaling for a count of 4. Hold for a count of 4. Open the mouth, relax the jaw, and sigh it out. Count of 4. Again, inhale into the low belly, dropping the breath deep, expanding for a count of 4. And hold for a count of 4. Relax the jaw, release the sound, release what you no longer want to hold. Sigh it out. I love the silence on the end of the breath. For the signal and anticipation of the inhale, breathing in through the nose and allowing that breath to rise, expanding the rib cage, front and sides, and back of the body. Hold it there. Relax the jaw, release whatever tension you feel. Sigh it out. Inhaling in through the low belly, up through the rib cage again, finding more place and space for breath, for connection to Source. Hold it there. And without collapsing the body, release the breath, sigh it out. Connecting that deep breath to that mid-breath, and now up through into the heart chakra, center of the chest. Hold it there. And sigh it out. In through the low belly, up through the rib cage, up through into the heart, across the front, opening the chest, opening the heart chakra, and across the back. Hold it there. And sigh it out. Let's practice that deep breath in and all the way up through the heart. And this time when you get to the top, close the lips and exhale slowly for a count of 6. Noticing that we've slowed the breath down. Noticing that we are open and receptive to the peace flowing in and out. That there is no hurry. That on this breath God is. On the next breath God will be. We experience peace in and peace out. Practice for a few rounds on your own, sending the breath and love and peace wherever you need. We accept the peace and we send the peace out. We allow the peace in to heal, to connect, to uplift, to inspire, and then we send it out. Let's take this elongated breath, this fuller connection into our feet now. Maybe you wiggle the toes or raise the heels. Notice if there's any tension. Have you been gripping really tight this week? In fear or doubt or worry, anticipation of your next steps? Let the feet feel the peace. Relax your feet now. From that grounded place, that connected place, sending the peace up through the soles of the feet, the energy flows on that. Cross the ankles. Breathe. Relax the ankles. Energy flows across the shins and the calves. Relax the shins and the calves. We feel more peace than ever before in this present moment as the energy flows across the knees. Peace in, peace out. Relax the knees. And the energy flows across the thighs, the glutes, the hamstrings. Maybe we notice if there's any tension that we're holding there. We send all the love and the peace within us to that tension. Relax the thighs. Relax the glutes. Relax the hamstrings. Nothing to grip or nothing to hold. Our connection is solid. We need do nothing but breathe and experience peace in and peace out. From the base of the spine, we feel the energy. We feel the energy, the Kundalini rise. As we inhale, that energy flows in, circulates in the body, release through the nostrils as peace flows out. In, exhale and allow. In and up. Exhale and allow. In and up. Exhale and allow. And up. And up. Opening the channel as the energy flows up. Up and out the crown of our head. Let the peace circulate above us. Let the peace connect us. Let the peace guide us. Peace in and peace out. We walk as peace. We breathe as peace. Sending that energy back down through the crown now. Across the third eye. Opening and balancing the throat. Across the shoulders if we feel tension, a burden we've been carrying. We release it now as the energy flows down the arms and out to the fingertips. Scan your body. Notice if you need more peace somewhere. Notice if you need the sensation of connection somewhere. Turn the palms up to receive more. Turn the palms down to ground. Either way, you are a receptive channel for peace in and peace out. Continue to breathe. If the mind wanders, it's okay. We gently bring it back to our affirmative thought, peace in and peace out. We stand in non-judgment. We stand receptive and ready, allowing peace to flow in and out now. What a beautiful thing it is to experience God within ourselves. With our eyes closed, we know it. We feel it more deeply. With our eyes closed, we remember that peace is flowing in through and as us at all times. And with our eyes closed, we allow our internal focus to be our guide, knowing that peace is flowing in and flowing out, that it's a continual cycle, a continual connection, a continual gift. Let's now, with our eyes closed, start to wake the body gently from its rest, bringing back with us all the benefits of that rest and connection. If the palms are turned up, turn them down. Either way, notice the connection between the palms and the tops of the thighs. Notice the breath and allow it to drop deeply. And let's breathe in together. Inhale, elongating the breath, raising the shoulders. Exhale, releasing the shoulders, nice and easy, back and down. Inhale, deep breath. Exhale, releasing the shoulders back and down. And one last time. Inhale. And releasing the shoulders back and down. Pausing to notice the silence, the peace. Bring the palms together at heart center. And bow the chin towards the fingertips. Noticing again subtle movements and an open body, an open mind, an open heart. Slowly allow the eyelids to open. Nice soft gaze, what we call dristi, nice soft, gentle gaze. Inhale, raise the chin, raise the gaze, keeping it soft. Release the breath. Namaste.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, PY.
You're welcome.
It is beautiful, beautiful and necessary to meditate, to connect and go within. As always, I encourage you to come back to the stream, use this meditation throughout your week, or any of the meditations from previous services. It can support you in activating the practice of meditation and going within. So we are in the last week of this month, and we have had an awesome sermon series. All I need is one prayer. I'm excited about today's message as we close, but of course, before we get into the message, we are going to hear from Soul 21. So sit back, relax, enjoy, sing along, and I will see you on the other side with today's message, It's a Prosperous Life.
And we're going to take this time to now recognize and remember that our word has power. Yes, yes? Yes. As we speak it, so it be. Yeah. And so this song simply says, my word is working for me. Just imagine the words that you speak like an army that goes out on your behalf, bringing back all the good that you speak. So we're going to affirm this truth and remember that our word is working for us, and then we're going to speak a word. I am attracting to me joy and prosperity. Goodness is rushing to me. I have the victory. Healing all over me. Peace in my family. Goodness is rushing to me. I have the victory. That sounds like a pretty good prayer, right? We're going to affirm this truth as one family today. Here we go, Soul 21. My word is working for me. 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 My word
Yes, yes. My. That was good. My word is working for me. I am attracting to me joy and prosperity. Goodness is rushing to me. I have the victory. Healing all over me. Peace in my family. Goodness is rushing to me. I have the victory. And of course, as we understand at a deeper level the power of I am now, we can feel the power of that affirmation in song. We feel it deeply. We feel it wonderfully. And of course, I love the joy of Soul 21. Thank you, Soul 21. Thank you, CSC Band, for that powerful, powerful, powerful song. Well, hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. It's good to be here with you. I'm excited about this series, of course, and I'm excited about where we've been and what we've been doing and what each and every one of you have co-created and are co-creating as a result of this series. All I need is one prayer. And we started in week 1 with this idea that is there a prayer? Is there one prayer that can transform our lives? And I believe that this prayer, it's not the only prayer, but I'm confident that this prayer can change your life. I am prosperous. And we have been looking at that prayer in the first 2 weeks, looking at I am, and last week and this week focusing on the second half, prosperous. And so in week 1, what's my name? We talked about the I am and what it is and what it means, even as we have that famous phrase, I am that I am, from Moses' encounter with the burning bush. But we understand that I am is existence itself, but it's not only that which exists, it is also that which is becoming, because it is the active force in, through, and as behind all manifestation. It is endless, it is exhaustless, and it is dependable as the air that we are breathing right here and right now. In week 2, we went a little deeper with me, myself, and I am, understanding that there's the oneness of God, which is an important thing, and then there's our oneness with God. And so we recognize that we can never be separate from God. We can never be separate from the all that is. We can never be separate from source. And so the truth is, it's not you and God or me and God. It is me, myself, and I am. And so then we understand that when we pray an I am prayer, we're not changing God. We're not rearranging God. When we pray an I am prayer, we're not convincing God of anything, because if we are one with God, the truth is we are the ones that are being changed. We are the ones that are being rearranged. We are the ones that are being transformed. And that is the power of the I am prayer. And so then in last week, Prosper, Beautiful Soul, Prosper, that title inspired by Muhammad Ali, Rumble, Young Man, Rumble. We looked at what it means to be prosperous and understanding that prosperity has nothing to do with money and things any more than poverty has to do with the lack of money and things. But prosperity is actually a way of living and thinking, that prosperity itself means according to hope. Right? One that is prosperous is one who is hopeful about their life, hopeful about their future, hopeful about today and tomorrow, understanding and recognizing that hope is the seed, right? Hope is what leads us into belief and developing faith. And out of belief and faith, then of course we move into knowing. And so we talked a bit about what it means to be prosperous and what it means to prosper. And so I want to take you back to week 1, right? In week 1, I said that the prayer, I am prosperous, will change your life. I also said, you don't have to believe me. Try it out for yourself and report your results back to me. I also said in that first sermon in week 1, this is a simple practice for the summer that you can commit to no matter what your plans are. And that was one of the things that inspired this sermon series. I wanted to give you something that you could use and practice that is practical, that you can use for the entire summer. And I said, you can do this at home. You can do this on vacation. You can do this on a plane. You could do this snorkeling or scuba diving before you make love or after you make love to your summer boo. Whether you're having a quote unquote good day or whether you're having a quote unquote bad day. Your practice of this prayer, however, must be unconditional, right? It must be a no matter what prayer. whether you had 8 hours of sleep or 2 hours of sleep, right? And it must be consistent. See, good things will happen in your life whether you pray this prayer or not. But good things are not the point of this prayer, right? The goal is a prosperous life. The goal is transformation. So I have news for you. You are prosperous now. From the moment you began praying, I am prosperous 100 times in the morning and 100 times in the evening, you have already begun to live a prosperous life. And so, as you are praying this prayer, you have two options. One, you could pray and wait for your life to change, or you could pray and look for the evidence of your prosperous life. Take a breath. So I want you to really sit with that for a second, because it almost sounds, you might not hear the distinction when I first said it. As you are praying this prayer, you have two options. Pray and wait for your life to change, or two, pray and look for the evidence of your prosperous life. Now, of course, the latter is what you must do. So let's go back for a second. What is prosperity? Prosperity is well-being. And so as you are praying this prayer, your transformation comes, the change, the transformation of the I am that you are comes from acknowledging the presence of well-being in your life now. Because I said, you're prosperous now. And as Abraham Hicks says, one of the things I love, that feeling is the first manifestation. Feeling is also how you will know going forward if you're paying attention to well-being or if you're paying attention to the lack of well-being. If you're paying attention to I am prosperous, or if you're paying attention to I'm not prosperous, or I don't feel prosperous, or I don't see the things that I think should be in my life if I am prosperous. Many of you have sent me messages. You've sent me messages this month saying, I'm enjoying praying this prayer 100 times in the morning and 100 times in the evening. I've seen your comments throughout the live stream. Many of you are sharing in the comments that, oh, I've been praying this prayer and it's been wonderful. I've been enjoying it. Awesome. Feeling is the first manifestation. That is the first evidence of your prosperous life. Acknowledge how good it feels to pray this prayer. Allow yourself to be excited about this declaration. Bask in the feeling of the prosperous life that you are now living and co-creating. And those are some good words. Acknowledge, allow, bask. Now, why is this important? Well, this is something that we've been talking about, and it's beautiful how we're kind of coming back to this over and over this year. If we go back to the Get Your Mind Right series, which was about prayer, I think this was the first time I really started talking about this, but it keeps coming back. Why is this important? Because God pays attention to what? To what you're paying attention to. Power flows where attention goes. That's another way of saying the same thing. As you focus your attention on how good it feels to pray, I am prosperous in the morning and evening, you are amplifying the power of creation. You are amplifying this active force in manifestation. You are actually focusing the active force behind all manifestation. And so what this is just like the power of the sun. We recognize that we can focus the power of the sun and start a fire by using a magnifying glass. But just going outside in the sun is not going to start a fire, right? You couldn't just go outside and say, well, the sun is here and I heard that you can use the sun to start a fire, so I'm out here and ain't no fire. What do you have to do? You have to focus it. And a magnifying glass is something that we use to focus it, and it can absolutely, focusing the power of the sun, focusing those powerful rays that are millions of miles away, can absolutely start a fire. And so this is what you are doing by acknowledging this evidence. As I said, pray and look for the evidence of your prosperous life. This is what you are doing. It's the equivalent of having a magnifying glass and focusing the power of the sun to start a good fire, right? A beneficial fire, right? To set your life ablaze with prosperity. But it goes beyond just acknowledging the feeling. Because again, that's important. Feeling is the first manifestation. And so again, I want you to know that if you've been feeling good in the affirmation of this in the morning and evening, and you felt joy around it, you are manifesting. It is also a sign that your prayer is active and activated. All good news. But now you must acknowledge all of the evidence of well-being, aka prosperity, in your life now. Because what did I say? You are prosperous now. You cannot pray, I am prosperous, and not actually be prosperous. You are prosperous now. You are living a prosperous life now. But what did we say last week? Quoting Eric Butterworth. Prosperity is a way of living and thinking, not just money or things. So this is what this sermon is about. It's a Prosperous Life is all about this aspect of recognizing that prosperity is a way of living and thinking. And so praying the prayer, I am prosperous, is just one aspect of the living and thinking. And I want you to know that this is a huge and courageous step, because this is something that most of the world is not doing. And that is why you will live a different reality than most of the world. You have made a habit of affirming and praying a transformative truth. In fact, if you have been praying this prayer since we started this series on the first Sunday in June, on June 4th, that means that you have prayed this prayer 4,300 times. That would include 100 times this morning. That's powerful, right? And if you miss some days or whatever, it's fine, right? But there was an opportunity for you to pray this prayer 4,300 times. And we started with 10 times on June 4th, right, to get you going. And so you've made a habit of affirming this truth. You have created powerful movement and momentum in the direction of the life that you desire. Remember what we talked about, Ernest Holmes, this idea of we can shift the trend, right, of our lives, right? Shift the trend of causation in our lives. And that's what praying this prayer is all about. But you must also know that this prayer isn't magic. We're not casting a spell, then waving a magic wand and poof, our life changes. Prayer changes you because you change, right? That's how it works, right? Every aspect of your life changes as a result of you praying this prayer because it changes you. We're not trying to change life, but what's interesting is that when we change, life changes. Depending on where you were in your thinking or before you started this prayer, each one of you, each of your transformation, it could take some time, and that's okay. Here at CSC, we don't teach quick fixes. We don't teach get prosperous quick schemes, right? That's not what this prayer is. I apologize to you now, right? 4 weeks in, if that's what you thought. It was like, oh, PG gave me this prayer, and I thought I was going to be prosperous in a couple days, right? I thought I was going to have a whole bunch of money in my bank in a couple of days, right? That's not how it works. It's not what we teach. We teach the principles that lead to a transformed consciousness. And we teach that a transformed consciousness is possible for every single soul, no matter who you are, no matter where you are, no matter what's going on in your life, no matter what you did this morning, no matter what you did yesterday, no matter when you begin this process. A transformed consciousness is possible for each and every soul. And so as we understand that we don't teach quick fixes, this is also why our discipline is important, because we're developing a new habit. All of us, in some way, shape, or form, have developed habits that are the antithesis of prosperity, right? That are the antithesis of well-being, that are the antithesis of being hopeful about today and tomorrow, right? And I use hopeful in a specific way, not wishing, but hopeful as in hope is the seed that as we practice hope, it turns into belief and faith. And as we practice belief and faith, it becomes a knowing, just like we know our name, right? And once we absolutely know our name, we wouldn't answer to any other name. So how then do we acknowledge the evidence of prosperity? How do we acknowledge the evidence of well-being? Well, here is your next courageous step. Write down the evidence. Take a piece of paper or your notes app in your phone, whatever it may be, and at the top of the page, write, I am prosperous now. And each day, list the evidence. Write at least 3 different things every day. Write the things that seem small and the things that seem big. This could even be your journaling exercise for your daily spiritual practice as you're practicing your 555. When you see it, write it down in the moment or use it as a way to reflect at the end of the day on your prosperity and all of the prosperous things that have taken place in your life, and write it down. Now, I call this your next courageous step because it asks you to do something that you may not be currently doing. Acknowledging the good in your life, acknowledging what's going well in your life, and doing it in this way, in a disciplined fashion, with disciplined attention and intention. Yeah, I'm sure every now and then you're like, oh, yeah, this good thing is good, or this good thing happened. But if you're honest with yourself, right, you're probably practicing more deliberate and disciplined attention and intention around complaining, right? Around what's not going well, around what you don't have, around what's missing, right? And so then what that's doing is actually counteracting the prayer. So what I want to support you in doing as we move through the rest of this summer, it's important that as you've activated the prayer and you feel the feeling, which is the first manifestation, so that's an indicator that your prayer is active and activated, we want to do things that actually empower it in the same way that a magnifying glass in the sun will focus the power and attention of the sun to set something ablaze. Again, we want to set our lives ablaze with prosperity, and so this is what we must do. We must acknowledge the evidence. Because God, power, life, the force behind all manifestation, the universe, use whatever name feels good to you, it is always and only paying attention to what you are paying attention to. So this is like a cheat code, but because most people have practiced the habit of doing the opposite, this can feel like too much. This can feel like another thing. This can feel like work. But I guarantee you that if you begin to practice this habit, it will become normal and natural. Now, the other thing is a word of warning. If you skip or avoid this courageous step, one of 2 things will happen. One, you will miss out on a powerful demonstration of prosperity in your life, not because God or life is withholding anything from you, but because there is simply isn't enough momentum behind your prayer, right? The sun isn't punishing us or withholding its great power from us if we're unable to start a fire with using the rays of the sun, but we're not using the proper means. We're not using something that allows us to focus those powerful beams, right? It simply means that we weren't using the thing that would allow us to do that. And so acknowledging the evidence is the magnifying glass in the sun. And not doing that, not acknowledging it, it's again, as I said, it doesn't have enough momentum behind your prayer. It's like a half blown up balloon in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade, flopping and flailing around in the wind, instead of floating with ease and majesty down Fifth Avenue. And so skipping this courageous step, that's what it's like. And I said one of 2 things will happen. Either that will happen or your prayer becomes a wish. Unknowingly, your prayer becomes a wish because you are neither looking for nor acknowledging the evidence of well-being you have now, well-being. And so you have now made I am prosperous a wish. You are actually then praying, God, please make me prosperous. You are now praying, I hope I'll be prosperous one day. And this is very important. I kind of touched on this last week, but didn't go too deep in it, right? That it's important that we acknowledge the well-being that's present, because otherwise your prayer becomes a wish. right? Otherwise, you're mistakenly trying to make your prayer magic. It's not magic. It's not a magic spell, right? Alakazam, poof, and good things happen. Or you close your eyes. I am prosperous. I am prosperous. I am prosperous. And then look around. Oh, I don't see the car. I am prosperous. I am prosperous. I am prosperous. I am prosperous. I don't see the lover. I am prosperous. I am prosperous. I am prosperous. I am prosperous. I don't see the job. I am prosperous. I am prosperous. I am prosperous. I am prosperous. I don't see the number I was looking for in my bank account. See, that's what is going to happen. And so I'm giving you this tool, which again is a courageous step, a necessary step, but it requires courage because it requires you to step into a space and develop a habit that you may not have fully realized or developed. It requires a level of discipline. It requires consistency. It requires yourself to give yourself some grace when you forget. And it requires you, I said last week, I said this prayer is kind of a counterculture prayer, right? So it requires you to buck against the norm. And what's going to start to happen as well is as you start to look for the evidence and start to live in this space and start to write these things down and acknowledge them, it's also going to shift your conversations, right? Because there's certain people you just aren't going to be able to talk to, right? Because they're the ones that tend to focus in on complaining and what's wrong and, just don't have a sense of acknowledging the good, right? And you realize because you care about your own life and what it is that you're seeking to create and co-create with Source, you're not just going to misuse and abuse your I am anymore in the way that you've chosen to in the past. No heat, no judgment on that person. You send them love. All is well, but you're just going to start to learn you're going to start to curtail certain conversations, right? You're going to start to learn to bless them where they are, right? Because they may even reflect, you can remember when you were in that place. But again, Abraham always says, you care about how you feel, right? You care about the manifestation. You understand this power and what's going on, and you understand what it is that you are co-creating. And so you're just not willing to entertain those things. And that's beautiful, right? Because it actually starts to develop these wonderful spiritual faculties within you, right? Of giving others grace and kindness right where they are without judgment. They're not wrong. You can live in the place of just forgive them for they know not what they do. If they knew better, they would do better. And the best thing you can do is be an example, not try to correct them, not try to change them, right? Now, this is different if this is your accountability partner, right? And so you two are endeavoring to do this work together and you set your intention. And so you're going to support each other in doing what it is that you have each committed to. That would be different. But I'm just talking about any person, the person at work or, any one of your friends or your family members. This is actually supporting you in developing habits of love, right? Because it's one of the things that's interesting about love. It's right there in one of the famous scriptures about love. It holds no record of wrongs, right? So it just allows us to be where we are, right? Without heat, without judgment. And so as you give yourself that grace, you're able to give others that grace. But again, it starts to just curtail your conversation, right? It starts to shift your conversation. It starts to just... Some folks will actually repel certain folks, right? Because vibrationally, they're no longer lining up in the frequency where you are. Last week, we talked about this idea of tuning into the frequency and why that is absolutely true and what's real. And so when you tune into the frequency, right, then you can only experience and enjoy with those that are also tuned in and tapped into that frequency. Now, the other thing that I can give you, something that you can do with ease, absolutely, you should write these things down. Absolutely, you should make a practice every day of writing 3 things down that are evidence of your prosperity, because you are prosperous now, and you can't pray, I am prosperous, and not be prosperous. And the more that you acknowledge it, the more that you expand your sense of being prosperous, your feeling of being prosperous, your experience of being prosperous, and then you set your life ablaze with prosperity. One of the things you can do is also in the moment that you experience something, I don't care what it is, right? You could get an unexpected discount. I went to the movies yesterday. I got a discount that I wasn't expecting. I wanted to see Transformers. I was going to pay whatever it cost to see Transformers. And it was like, oh, here, you have a special discount. I still don't even really know why. But what did I say in that moment? I am prosperous. So what this does is it's beautiful to recognize it in real time, right? You may get cash back for something. You didn't know why. I am prosperous. Somebody treats you to lunch. You say thank you. And also within yourself, you say, I am prosperous. You find money on the ground. You put your foot on it. You look around and pick it up. I am prosperous, right? Someone lets you move to the front of the line. I am prosperous. You thought you were going to be late, but everything worked out and you were actually ahead of time. I am prosperous. Someone reaches out to you, texts you, and just says, hey, I'm thinking about you. I love you. I'm just praying all is well. And let's say that's all they say. You receive it. I am prosperous. Anytime you experience things that are evidence of this thing we call prosperity, evidence of well-being, evidence of it going well with you, evidence of this hope and hopefulness, evidence of the seed that you have planted in your mind that is now expressing as your life. Just say to it right then and there, I am prosperous. And what's beautiful, on a neurological level, this does something powerful, because what you are actually doing, this is not spiritual. On a neurological level, what you are starting to do is create new neural pathways in your own brain, connecting around those experiences. Right? And so as you connect those pathways around those experiences, you start to create a dominant pattern of thinking and expectation on a cellular level in your brain that you are prosperous, that just good things like this happen to you, that discounts show up, that you move to the front of the line, that time tends to bend and morph itself around you and what it is that you need to do. And you have more than enough time, and you always seem to be on time, even when you're late, that you start to develop this habit of expectation in your own mind that just new, as Thoreau writes, new and liberal laws will be written or changed in your favor. That, yeah, they said that's what it is, but somehow that didn't apply to you, and you just got exactly what you needed, right? You were approved when others were not approved. This is the kind of thing that happens. And so what you can do at each moment that the good happens, speak to it. If you can say it out loud, say it out loud, but at least say it to yourself. I am prosperous. Every time that type of thing happens. And then also write it down. Right? So that doubles the momentum. But if for some reason you're not able to write it down, I encourage you to do that. Because acknowledging the evidence will be the encouragement you need to stay the course and remain persistent. One of the good things about writing it down, and this is something that I've done for a very long time, I call it my miracle log. Anytime some good thing happened like that, like actually I got to remember to put the movie discount in my miracle log. When service is over, I'm gonna put it in my phone. So I keep this list in my phone so that when I'm feeling down, when I'm feeling frustrated, when I am in a space where, this is a true story, when I'm sitting in the airport and my plane is delayed and I'm frustrated and I'm getting phone calls because I'm supposed to be somewhere that I'm not, because I can't get there, right? I go to my miracle log. Right? I use that to actually shift my vibration. Why? Because I remember I am prosperous. And I remember that this is a temporary moment. This is a temporary moment. And so by having that close by, it's something that you can use in the future to shift you. Because there will be times that you ain't feeling it, right? There will be times that you feel down. There will be times that you're worried. There are times when fear will creep up. There are times when you'll have doubts. And so this is then a tool that will support you in staying the course, remaining persistent, and also support you in practicing pivoting. Right? Shifting your vibration, because you read enough of those and you start to remember all of that good that is your life, that is the reality of your life, that, oh, wait, I am prosperous now. whatever that current experience is, it starts to shrink. It starts to look really, really, really small, insignificant, and surmountable. So this is the path to a prosperous life. The courage to pray, the prayer, and the courage to acknowledge the evidence of your changed mind leads to powerful demonstrations of prosperity. Make this summer, the summer of 2023, your prosperity summer. Don't just transform your body, transform your mind. Now, I'm looking forward to hearing from many of you who have taken the courageous step to pray this prayer, this one transformational prayer. I know it works. I'm living proof that it works. My life is a direct reflection of choosing to pray this prayer in the summer of 2009. Out of it came more money, more love, more opportunities, more amazing experiences, more ideas, more connection, more confidence, more joy, more ease, more prosperity. But as my dear brother LeVar Burton used to say in Reading Rainbow, you don't have to take my word for it. Try it for yourself and let me know how it goes. Now, we begin our Truth Sunday Masterclass next Sunday. Don't get distracted, right? The truth is you can actually do both, right? That's the point of this, that this is so simple and specific that you can use this in the morning and evening while we study the mental equivalent next month. The important thing is that you choose to prosper, that you choose to take control, right? Control of your mind, control of your thoughts, control of the direction of your life, control of the trend of your life, control of the movement of your life. And that's what this simple prayer does. 3 words, but all you need is one prayer. 3 words, and it can transform your life. 3 words, and you will look back at your life, wish you had started it sooner, but be so grateful that you took the courageous step to pray this prayer consistently, and then you took the courageous step to acknowledge the evidence of prosperity, acknowledge the evidence of well-being that is taking place now, because that's how the transformation happens. In the same way that when a seed breaks open and we can see the evidence, we can see each stage, and it's exciting. I had the most wonderful experience yesterday. I was standing outside of our apartment waiting for an Uber, and this one of my neighbors, she was in the lobby, and she came outside. She was greeting someone who, a young couple who was coming to meet her. I learned that couple was actually her son and her new grandchild. And I asked how old the baby was. They were just bringing this little girl, her name is Remy, from the hospital. She was 1 day old. And there was something within me that just lit up to see like that early 1 day stage of life, and knowing that Remy, I don't know who Remy is going to become or what she's going to do or how she's going to show up in the world, but we recognize that there's joy in this first manifestation, right? There's joy in the early stage, and we recognize that, and we love on that, and we celebrate that, and we document it, and we think about all the things we do with our kids and all the pictures that we take. And so it's important in that same way, in the same way that just, I couldn't even help myself. I just felt something lift within me. It's like she's 1 day old, and to see this beautiful soul. And there were actually a couple of people that were walking by. The same thing, they just lit up. They were like, God bless you, God bless her. You know, immediately, that's what we go to. That's what you're being asked to do when we talk about acknowledge the evidence. We know how to do that. We do it all the time. But we forget to do it in this space when we're talking about the metaphysics of creation, right? Of creating a life and transforming our lives. I am so grateful and thankful for each and every one of you. I'm so grateful and thankful for your willingness to pray this prayer. I'm so grateful for the power of this prayer. All we need is one prayer to transform our lives. Let us make this summer the summer of our prosperity. And to that we say, amen, ashe, and so it is.
Ah, yes, yes. All we need is one prayer. I love this message series so much because it just reminds us of the simplicity of these teachings and how easy it is to take one idea and integrate it into our lives, our systems. And I love the idea that all it takes is the courage to pray, pray affirmatively, and then the courage to acknowledge the change.
Yep.
So often we are obsessed with what's wrong and what hasn't changed, that we forget to acknowledge the change.
Yes, yes.
Not just the physical, what shows up, but the change in us.
Yep.
That's the internal motivation that produces the external results.
Yep.
Keep praying this prayer, y'all. I'm prosperous. And remember that anything that follows I am is. And so if you notice yourself not praying I'm prosperous and you praying I'm tired, I'm broke, I'm lonely, then change your mind. And then see the results. Feel the results within you.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, PG.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It is wonderful, as always, to share. I'm grateful for this series and grateful to move forward in teaching the Truth Sunday Masterclass next Sunday. Encourage and remind you all, get your copy of the Mental Equivalent. It is available in all formats. And as you can see on your screen, you've seen throughout the stream, now is the time for giving. It's very easy to give to CSC. You can go to the website, celebrationsc.org/give, or you can text your dollar amount to 347-744-9500. The important thing is that you give what feels good, because it is what's behind your giving that actually impacts the receiving, the closing of the loop, the cycle of the law of circulation. Right? Many have been taught that it's about the amount, right? That you have to sacrifice a certain amount to God, and then because of this great sacrifice, God is going to honor your sacrifice. No, that ain't it. That ain't it. What it is behind your giving, you must know that you're connected to this thing we call God, that is the source of your supply, that is endless, exhaustless, and dependable. You must know that all of your resources and multiple streams of income, and shout out to the multiple streams of income, because that's the reality we live in, that's possible. And really, we all need multiple streams of income in this capitalistic system, right? So, fine, we have multiple streams. I thank God for the streams, right? But every stream is actually connected to the ocean.
That's what I was gonna say. Thank God for the stream.
That is God,
The ocean. Yes.
right? Right? And the ocean that God is endless, exhaustless, and dependable. And when you give from that place, that's when you experience the true blessing of giving. That's when you experience the power of giving. That's when you experience the full loop of giving and receiving, giving and receiving, giving and receiving. And so from that vantage point, then we can affirm with confidence and with joy, all the money that I use,
All the money that I use
returns to me multiplied.
returns to me multiplied
In a never-ending cycle.
in a never-ending cycle
Of increase. And
and
enjoyment.
enjoyment.
Again, that increase in enjoyment. So it's not just about money, right? Money is a tool that we may use to support us in doing things that we define as joyful, right? But a never-ending cycle, right? Because God is never-ending of increase and enjoyment. And we are grateful that we get to live in that space. We are grateful to live in that space. So in this moment, we have come to the close of our weekend service. We are definitely transformed as a result of being here together, gathering together. Looking forward to next week with the master class. We'll delve into it, as we get there next week. But many of you know, you've experienced the master class. You know it's always transformative, enlightening, enlivening. We shift the format up a little bit on Sunday, so it's not going to be our regular format, so we can have as much time available to really teach and again to go through line by line. Thankfully, there are not a lot of chapters in the mental equivalent, so we should be able to actually move through each entire chapter. Definitely some things to heal, definitely some things to clean up, but the principle is the principle, right? And that's what we want to get to. That's what we want to get to. So please make sure you get your copy, you have your copy, and get ready to walk on in to get what you want. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. So with that, we love you. We appreciate you all. Have an amazing remainder of your Sunday.
Happy Pride again here in New York City.
Yes, yes.
We talk about it often, and it's almost a given because we just operate that way in the inherent equality of all people.
Yes, yes.
And we've always been affirming because there is no other way.
Mm-hmm.
We affirm your goodness, your inherent value, your worth, your worthiness. No matter who you decide to love, you are worthy. Enjoy pride, enjoy the representation of what pride means. And we love you all.
Yes, yes, absolutely. We look forward to gathering together on Wednesday for the Momentum Prayer Call. And for those that are not able to make the call live, then we will be together next Sunday for the live stream. All right. Bye for now.
Bye for now.